The Domino sales, what it is, how to fix it. This is going to be exclusive training just for you, the subscriber of Business Edge with Gary. Thank you. And know that while this is hosted on YouTube, it is only available through the private link. So if you know something you benefit from this, you can send them that link. They can watch this video. They've got to subscribe to get future editions. Alrighty, so let's dive right in. Today, we are going to talk about the domino effect, what it means, how to fix it, how does it affect a massive pipeline in sales, and before we do that, we need to go over the 10x sales system. So we've got a baseline of what it is that we're going to include here. So the 10x sales system, we've got 1, idea and target, 2, attention, 3, leads, 4, lead management, 5, sales, 6, managing money, and 7, scale. Each of these serves a very unique purpose and point in moving us through the system and what it takes to build a 7-figure business. So just to briefly overview each of these, to understand why the domino can be so impactful. At number 1, idea and target. These aren't lazy ass targets. These are really fine-tuned, detailed targets. We know exactly what to expect and why we're doing it. The reason that's influence is if we don't know what we're doing and why, then we can't do the rest of the steps because we have no direction, we need no attention. Number 2 then is attention. Now attention is vital because we need to generate attention to bring leads, sales, everything else into the business. From marketing to senior to sales, but that's known to be the best. And why the single greatest threat to your business is lack of awareness, right? Not being omnipresent, obscurity. So if you think that you're not suffering from obscurity, reach out to me. Love to hear and see what you're doing to beat obscurity and get massive amount of attention. Number 3, then we go into leads. Leads obviously generate attention because of our idea and our target. Now we create leads. Now, lead management, nurturing, tracking, having CRM systems that allow us to take leads, push them through a system that leads to a sales opportunity where we're able to close them. Sales and close. Very clear on that step. Moving then into generating what? Revenues and cash flow. So we need to manage this step. We need to start doing some more advanced techniques. Very good things to pay attention to. Now, we've done all those stage that we have now. Number 7, scaling. So as we're scaling, is where we go back around the wheel, and we want to ensure that we're clear on our next target, because what we've done at the scale, what we've built here, in order to bring that forward, to boost out our tech, our people, our training, our SOPs, our processes, we hit the target. Do we stop and go to the beach and high ties? No. We set a new idea. We set a new target, and we start the cycle over again. Now, that new idea and target, to be clear, under scaling, could be increasing our product offerings, increasing throughput, just doing more than we do best, acquiring full-time business, acquiring an unrelated business, moving into some other business. Could all take a different impact. But that new idea target is predicated on everything we've done before. So that's the sales system. Now, why is the domino effect so important? And why do I keep saying this domino effect thing? When we think about those, each of those stages, if they go around in a circle there, they flow. But if we put those verticals, set them up like dominoes, right? Like when you're a little kid, you set the dominoes, you tip one, you try to get to go around the track. And as you're building those, you're probably intentionally, every time you're probably pulling one out. What did we create? We created a gap. Now, what the gap serves to do is a very important purpose. We lay out all of these dominoes. The last thing we want is a sibling, mom and dad will walk by and bump something, and one domino falls, and all the work starts going off, and we're ready for it. So we make that gap. Now, in our businesses, we don't want those gaps. We want those dominoes to fall, and we don't need to fall in that. But we often do have a gap That's a skill gap. It's an opportunity. It's the gap of massive action. So when we look at the massive action gap here, it's those same dominoes. Typically, most common place for that to occur is between the first ideal target and the second potential dominoes. So as we tip that ideal target, we put that into action, not enough action, where there's a skills gap and it doesn't hit that next domino, leading to attention still standing. Now, as we condense that down through being very intentional with our marketing targets, our attention gathering target, we put action into those. We're still not seeing it. We put more action into it. Now, one of these gaps could occur at any point. Could be between idea and target. The most common could be any examples of attention, but if they're not converting into leads, then that's actually what happens. So look at your own business, and most likely between stage 1 and 2, but it could be a head particularly established business. So now we're looking at what we're seeing. Okay, these are the dominoes. Get it now. See why it's impacting me. What do I do about it? Well, we've got something simple for that too. What you want to do about it is put more action behind it and make sure your targets are so finite, they're so detailed, there's no question of what to do next. If you're uncertain what your next step is, then you do not need to clear the target. If you're uncertain what your next step is, then the barriers to taking action, they come up and we lead to inaction or not enough action. Right? 4 levels of action. None, which is near impossible. Even if you're dead, your body's decaying, it's still a form of action. Retreat, which is we were doing more action and then we retreated, we fell back from that, got too hard, got too tired. Burnout is retreat. Average levels of action, most dangerous. Everybody says, wow, you're doing great. You're doing everything we expect you to do. Except it's average. So you don't get the result, but people won't pound you for it. They're going to encourage you being average. It's the most dangerous level of action. The 4th level of action, the most exciting level, the most difficult to obtain, is massive. So as you're looking at these, as you're seeing those numbers, you're laying them out, make sure to put massive action to your action gaps, your skills gaps, to be sure that as you move through the 7-step sales cycle, each of your dominoes falls one on top of the other and not fall flat and stop. For more things like this, please continue to be a subscriber to Business Ed. Comment, leave me a message, send me a direct message if you've got questions on this content. Share this with a friend, encourage them to subscribe. And I hope you have an amazing, incredible 10x rest of your day. Remember, keep it for the top.